Hey everybody, we're going to be on in just a second. I'm getting my last little bits and bops set up. Please let me know if you can hear me in the chat. Let me know how everything sounds. Is the music too loud? Is my voice too loud? Just let me know. We're going to be on in just a sec. We are still voting on what we're making. It's between a hermit crab, a crab, a seal, and an octopus. The vote is going on right now. So vote ASAP. We're going to end the vote before the stream starts. You can find it at the top of the chat right now, but I'm actually going to change that in just a second. So, yeah, go vote. Be on in just a sec. Thanks. Bye. All right, let's rock and roll. Hello, everybody. Hello, welcome to the stream. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Friday and hope you had a great week. Hope your week was as wonderful as you are. Today, what are we doing today? We are crocheting some minis. I know it's a little early. That's a little bit early, but hello to the chat. You feel like you're watching, you're playing Mario Kart with the music. That's good. You should, because I think this is for Mario Kart, and I love Mario Kart. So, today we are crocheting some minis based on your suggestions. We're going to talk about the new Untangled credit system, something that is brand new. We've been working on for a while. And that's what we're doing. that's what's happening here. All right. Well, hey, Taco Yaki, long time no see. Hello to the chat. All right. So the first thing I want to talk about is, the first thing is we have a timeline today. Jules is is landing at 3:30. So our stream today ends at 3. So we end in about 2 hours. So we have to make some minis before that. And then we also today are going to go through the new Untangled system, which I'm really excited to share. Now, we voted already on which Minigurumi to make today. If you didn't vote, well, then you should be subscribed to the channel and hit the little bell icon so you don't miss updates like that. But we did a vote in the post section of YouTube. I know it's a little weird, but we did one there, and the winner was a hermit crab. So we're going to do a few votes. The first one is we're gonna vote on how should we make the eyes. We need to get that going right away. Make the eyes, I'm gonna say white with big eyes, small orange and orange. Okay, so the vote is now in the chat. Do you want it to have white eyes with big ol' eyes in it, which actually don't look like this. They look more like, here's big eyes on the character. This one's also got little glasses, but you get the idea. We can make it with big eyes or small eyes, and we can make it white or orange. Those are your choices. I just put a poll in the chat. After that, we're also going to vote on the shell and a bunch of other things today. If you want to get any of the patterns for today, you can just find them all at clubcrochet.com/Sandy. I was thinking if we had enough time, we would do a pattern today for a brand new mini. But I don't know if we're going to get to that. So we'll see. Okay, that's the dealio. The brand new mini would be this little seal, which is brand new, as this crab. So I thought, if one of those two won the vote, we would do a live pattern. But neither of those won, so I'll do it later. I'll do it this weekend instead. Okay, well, let's talk about all the things to crochet along with me today, and then we'll talk about how you can support this channel if you'd like to, and then we'll get hooking, and we'll talk about our new Untangled system. It's very, very cool. I'm very, very, very excited to share it with you. So first off, if you want to crochet along with me, what do you need? First thing is you need the pattern. You can find it at clubcrochet.com/Sandy. You're going to need some yarn. We're going to be using worsted weight yarn, 100% cotton. It's just my favorite yarn to use for amigurumi in general, but you can use any kind of yarn you want. If you make some with blanket yarn, please share it. In fact, we are doing the Club Crochet Challenge right now, so if you want to crochet a hermit crab and you post it to the Club Crochet Challenge, which you can find at clubcrochet.com/challenge, links are on the website, I guess is the best way to do it, because I forgot to put it in the description. But go enter the challenge. You will get a chance to win a free deluxe kit or a giant $80 gift card to the shop, so you can purchase anything that you want from the shop. Yeah, all you have to do is crochet a hermit crab, and we're doing it right now anyhow. Get your crochet hook and crochet a hermit crab with us. So you'll need orange yarn for the main color. You might need some white for the eyes. We're gonna need some colors for the shells. We're gonna choose the shell live on camera and crochet it together live. And how do you check to make sure your submissions go through? You know what? We should add that to the members site. That's a good idea, Onyx. I update it. I check them every day, so it's usually like every day it just goes through. But yeah, I think there should be a better system for that. So thank you, Onyx. That's a good note. All right, the vote is voting. Okay, what else do you need? Safety eyes. I'm gonna be using 6mm or 8mm eyes today. It depends on what you vote for. And then we'll need a crochet hook. I'm going to be using a size G4 millimeter crochet hook today. You'll need some scissors for cutting stuff. Look at these. These are in our dinosaur crochet kits. Super cool. And then you'll need a darning needle to sew in hard to reach stitches. That's pretty much it. Okay, well that's all that stuff. Now let's talk about how you can support this channel if you'd like to. And I'm very excited to talk about that today. Let's move these guys a little bit out of the screen here. So if you like what's going on here and you think it's really cool and you want it to keep happening, you can support this channel. There's a whole bunch of ways. The free way, easy, cheap way, like this video down below, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon. That's totally free to do, and it does help support this channel, so thank you if you have done that. You can also support monetarily if you want to. You don't have to, but it would be really appreciated. And the best way to support monetarily is with the Club Crochet membership. And do I have a deal for you today? We just unleashed a whole new system called the Untangled system. It's really, really cool. And you get credits on the website. We're going to talk about all of it today. But for this month, for the next 30 days, well, a little less than 30 days because it was 30 days starting on Monday or Tuesday, you get a chance to sign up for the designer tier membership, which we're going to talk about in a second, for only $5.99. It is crazy big deal. It's like less than half of what the normal cost is. But yeah, it's a really, really cool membership. You get a whole bunch of patterns. You get early access to patterns. You get exclusive access to the library. You get credits each month you can use on the website. It's really cool. We're going to talk about all of it in just a second. But if you want to sign up for a membership, you really, really should. It's a great way to support this channel, but you also get a whole bunch in return as well. You can also purchase kits. You can also purchase kits and merch in the store. We have a whole bunch of patterns available. We just finished up our toucan from last week. I finished it up last night, so it is currently on the website. It is available currently just for designer members or if you want to untangle it, but I'm going to add it for purchase later. So if you want to purchase this directly, you can. But you can also use Untangle credits, which we're going to talk about in just a second. And you're going to get a chance to get a free Untangle credit in just a second as well. What is a G-hook? A G-hook is 4 to 4.5 millimeters. It's an American term. I honestly do millimeters instead, so I'm using a 4.0 millimeter hook for you, Crafter H. So there you go. Okay. Did I go over everything? Kits, merch, you can tip if you'd like to. I'll leave a little Minigurumi out on screen for you if you tip. Jimbo says hi. He's running around somewhere, but I will make sure to say he says hi later. Peyton says they just made the sloth. Oh, that's so cool. I love that pattern. I was just looking at that on Sunday, actually, to see if I wanted to, like, give it a redo or something. Okay, well, let's move these guys out of the way just a little bit. And let's get hooking and see what you guys voted on for the eyes. White with big old eyes. Okay, so we're going to need our orange and we're going to need our white. Perfect. Okay, now before I even get going here, we're going to need a long vote. We're going to be voting for a while here on what shell to make for a crab. Now, you guys gave me a crazy list of shells on our hermit crab live stream. So we're going to base it off of this and choose some of our shells. We've only crocheted the coffee mug, and actually we crocheted another one of these, the ice cream. There's an ice cream cone. So we also did that one, which is this little fella right here. This is what we did last time we did a hermit crab, and it's so cute. All right. So I need to choose 4 of these for us to vote on. I think old shoe is fun. So we'll do Maybe we'll do old shoe. Top hat's always fun. Old shoe top hat. A bell? Bell could be funny. We're close to doing a pumpkin, but that's probably gonna start happening like next week. Treasure chest sounds difficult. An orange. Crayon. Actually, an orange could be fun. Let's do orange, old shoe, top hat. Plunger? Sure. Plunger would be funny. Let's do it. Let's go ahead. I'll put those in the chat right now, and you can vote on it. So 1 second. Which shell should we crochet? All right, so we got, what were the options? Orange, old shoe, plunger, or what was the last one? Top hat. All right, so go ahead and vote now in the chat. You've got a little bit of time to vote on that. And I highly suggest you crochet something, one of these shells for yourself for the challenge, by the way. So let's get hooking, and let's talk about the new Untangled system on Club Crochet. The Club Crochet Untangled is what we're calling this big update. It is a big update. Seriously, it's pretty massive. I'm very excited about it. So essentially, we have been working on this update for years, actual years, and I'm very, very excited to finally share it with you. I'm gonna choose that one. Ooh, oh, interesting. Ooh, very interesting. Not the one I thought was gonna get votes, but that's all right. Okay, so on Club Crochet, we just updated how memberships work on the site, and just a whole bunch of, just seriously so much new stuff. So we're calling this update the Untangled update. It is pretty big. There's a whole bunch of new features, some new features coming out soon, new events happening. It's pretty massive, honestly, pretty massive. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's just go through it one feature at a time. If you want to follow along with what I'm talking about right now, I'm reading off of this, well, I'm not reading off of it, but I'm working off of this blog post that I spent a long time on to explain how Untangled credits work. And you can find it linked at the top of the chat right now, or if you go to clubcrochet.com, if you scroll down, there's going to be like a news section. There's one that's called Untangled Credits. Go there and read it. If you're reading along with me, at the very bottom of the page, you can get a free Untangled credit right now, which can be used to unlock patterns on the website. So it's a really cool feature, and let's talk about it. Okay, so the first thing is, for our new system, is what the system got its name for: Untangled credits. Untangled credits are a brand new thing on the site where you can use credits to untangle, aka permanently unlock patterns on the site. And you can get credits a whole bunch of different ways. You can get them from community events, like joining live streams like this one, and you can get things like I'm about to tell you about, or just did, where there is links to get free credits. You can get them from getting a membership. You can get a regular membership, which gives you 3 credits a month. You can get a designer membership, which also gives you 3 credits a month, but also gives you all the patterns on the website. And then you can also do it by completing secret challenges and patterns on the website, which is also way cool. I need to pull up the pattern for this, I just realized. So 1 second. Because I just realized I don't know. I forgetted it. So we're going to pull that up really fast. Yarning for something new. You know I am. Oh. There it is. Okay. Back to the pattern. Where am I? I'm on round 3. It is 6. Okay. I don't need to stress as much about that. Pull that over to the side. Maybe? Okay. Alright, we're just gonna do it like that. I can read. Okay, so Untangled credits. That's Untangled credits. They're really cool. Honestly, they're super cool. You could check your Untangled credits on your membership page. On your account page. You can get credits a whole bunch of different ways. You can use credits really easily by just going to any pattern on the website, and there's like a new Untangled button. We made a new menu for it, which is really cool. Shout out to Jimmy, our web designer, and Emily, our other web designer, who helped make all of this happen. Big shout outs to them because it's really cool. Okay, so that's the Untangled credits. And we're going to talk more about those as we go on in this update, because there's like a lot that come with those Untangled credits, and there's a lot of ways to get them and stuff, so it's really cool. If you had a... Oh, by the way, this is really important, and I'll mention this again later when we talk about the memberships part. If you had a membership... Oh, no. Wait, that was round 3. Okay, wait. I need to go back for a second. Yeah, because this is supposed to be an increase. And then we need to make our eyes. Right? Because that was 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay. So this should be an increase right here. If you had an account, a membership, before this change happened, by the way, you got upgraded to the Untangle, or the designer tier membership. Hey, thank you for all the hearts, whoever's putting that. You got upgraded automatically to the designer tier membership, which is like the second tier up, for free. There's no extra charge to your account. You're still only paying what you paid before this update, so nothing changed for your account. If anything, you just got a whole bunch of new perks. So I highly suggest checking it out. I also gave you a bunch of Untangled credits already in your account, so you can start using them already if you want to. But if you have a designer tier membership, you don't even need Untangled credits because you have access to the entire website anyhow. So that's kind of how it works. But speaking of, let's talk about another feature on the website, something that's a little bit more obvious of a feature. Untangled credits are awesome, don't get me wrong, but there's a whole bunch of other features too. One of which was made by our developer, Emily, the pattern palette. This is so cool. I added a new way to like kind of view patterns on the site. Not view patterns, but get all your resources for a pattern at once. Basically, if you check out a lesson now on the website, I think this is only on mobile still. We're going to add it to desktop probably like next week or maybe a little after. It's a little bit more complicated to edit to desktop for some reason. Anyhow, basically there's this new menu that follows you along as you are crocheting. And it has quick access to the video tutorial. It's got quick access to the pictures for the pattern. It's got quick access to the community pictures for the pattern, which we'll talk more about that in a second as well. It's got quick access to the abbreviations and to help, extra help. So if you need like, oh, I need help on this pattern, or I need to report a bug, like I found a mistake in the pattern, or I found a mistake on the website. All of that is now easily accessible from the pattern palette, which can be found on any pattern on the website. It's super cool. Honestly, really, like, it's a very cool feature. I like it a lot, especially on mobile. It's going to come to desktop ASAP because it is extremely useful. So I told the developers, get this on desktop because I would use this all the time. You already had an account, but you only have 3 credits. Yep, you got a free 3 credits. Those credits started. And also Amaze feed, you get 3 credits every month. And because you have the designer membership, you don't even need the credits. You can access all the patterns on the website without any credits. So yeah, you don't even need to use them. How do you enter the giveaway? Oh, we're gonna be doing the giveaway this weekend, but we do also have a you can win something right away. Not win, but I'm giving away something right away. If you just go to the website that I'm talking about right now, the Untangled credits like update that I made, we are giving away a free credit at the very bottom of the page if you're logged in. So as long as you're logged in, you can get a free credit. And yeah, let's keep talking though. Pattern palette, way cool, super duper cool. Highly suggest you check it out just by going to any pattern on the website on your mobile device. Okay, so I finished up round, I think I just finished up round 4 there. You can see our little eyes coming together. Looking pretty cute. Looking pretty cute. Next we want to add, what round? Oh, next we want to add our legs and stuff. So let's get started on that. Yeah, like this. All right. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is the community submissions. Now, this is something that we've actually been messing around with for a long time, and something that I've been trying to get to on the website for years. Basically, there's a new community submission option on the website where, ooh, Takoyaki's got an idea for the Club Crochet challenge. Do it. Do it! Oh my gosh, I'd love to see it. Takoyaki makes some of the most crazy things. It's very cool. Amazefeed loves Lava Run. Oh, I'm so glad. We'll talk about Lava Run in a little bit too. Okay, so let's get back to the community submissions thing. So on the website now, you can go on a pattern, any pattern on the website, and submit a picture of your finished project so that people can see it. And if you go to the pictures, the photos on the website in the pattern palette and at the bottom of the page, you'll find all the community submissions so you can see what everybody else has made using this pattern. And it's not just for brownie points either. You actually get stuff for submitting pictures, which we're about to talk about that as well. But it's really cool. The community submissions things is really neat. We're going to eventually have them on screen in the live streams. At the bottom of the live stream, I'm going to put community submissions. And on the homepage of the website. So it's going to be very prevalent on the site eventually. So that's super cool. Next up, though, let's talk about what you can get for submitting your pictures with the new pattern punch card. Hey, how neat is that? I thought, I've been going to coffee shops all the time, and I get a punch card whenever I go to coffee shops. And I thought that would be a really cool thing on Club Crochet. If you could get, you finish 5 patterns and then you get a credit. And sure enough, that's what we did. So with the new pattern punch card, basically how it works is if you do that community submissions and you submit pictures of your finished work, you can get credits for every 5 patterns that you complete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. So every time you complete 5 patterns on the website, you get a credit back to use on more patterns on the website. So it's really cool. It's a cool way to just not only just share your progress with people, but actually get rewarded for completing patterns. I'm really excited about this, honestly. And I already can tell it has already led to a lot more submissions on the website, because when I go on Club Crochet and I approve posts every night, I do it every night, I see so many people posting pictures of their finished work on the website, and it's just so cool to see all these people completing their patterns and posting pictures. There's some people that are just they are using it. They're using it on everything, and it's oh wow, this person just submitted a lot of pictures. And it's really cool. You don't get credits for submitting to the same pattern over and over, but every time you do it for a different pattern, it counts. You can do it 2 times per week. You can fill a punch card 2 times per week, and then after that, next week it refills, and you can start doing it again. So it's super cool. Just a good in general. I really like it a lot. I think it's a really cool, fun little system. And you're going to kind of see, this is the turkey was missing. Yeah, the turkey should be in the burb patterns, I believe. Okay, wait, 1, 2, 3, and then I do a mini picot. Yeah, where was I? Pattern punch card, super cool. I really like it. Shout out again to Emily who got that made. It was something that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and it just barely made it across the finish line. We had to test it a bunch before we released it, so I don't know. It was like the one that was like, come on, can we get the pattern punch card done before we do this update, because I really think that would be cool. And sure enough, we did. So very cool new system where you can complete patterns on the site and then you get credits to use on the site. It's neat. I highly suggest you check it out. If you find any mistakes on the site, by the way, there is now a way to report mistakes like that, bruh. I'm saying bruh because that's his name. I'm not just calling you bruh. But yeah, anyhow, that's really cool. All right, let's talk about the new event for this new update. And let me actually complete this last part here. Also, get your votes in on what you want the shell to look like, because we're actually already almost done with the body of our hermit crab. So we're gonna need to start making the shell after this. Hey, look at that. Look at his little gams. Little face. We're gonna add eyes in just a moment too. All right, let's talk now about the next big thing, which is the new event of this season, or not the season, but the new event of the update. So, for having a designer membership now, we have a brand new member exclusive event called Camp Crochet. And Camp Crochet is really cool. I'm so excited about it. Our first camp starts in October, but it is a new member exclusive live stream design along where we're going to learn in depth about a specific technique on crochet, and then we're going to crochet a pattern that utilizes that technique so we can learn it together. It's going to be a brand new pattern for the people that join the camp, and it will brand new pattern, and then we're going to like come up with ideas on how to customize it, and we're going to share our projects together. You can actually join in with your video, so if you get stuck and need extra help, I can help you live and like actually show you and see your screen, so you can show me, I'm missing this stitch, what happened here? And I could be like, okay, well, don't worry, this is what happened. It's going to be super cool. Camp Crochet starts in October. We're doing 2 in October. If you get a pattern membership, you get access to 3 of these Camp Crochets. If you get a designer membership, you get access to all the Camp Crochets. You can join Camp Crochets live, like you can just watch it if you want to, or you can actually join in with your Zoom camera and actually crochet along with us. So it's a really cool new event, and I'm very, very excited about it. Our first 2, like I said, are going to happen in October. Our very first one is going to be free for anybody to see, and we're going to be doing Amigurumi 101 for that first one. So we're going to be learning about just how to make amigurumi in general, and then after that we're going to get a little bit more in depth to things. We're going to do our first official Camp Crochet that's not like open to the public is going to be about bobble stitches. It's going to be what did I call it? The bobble stitch. Hold on, let me look at what I called it, because I was proud of the name. It was called the Beyond the Bobble Stitch. That's what it's called, Beyond the Bobble Stitch. We're going to be learning about a deep dive into my favorite stitch, the bobble stitch, a bunch of different versions of the bobble stitch, a bunch of different ways to use the bobble stitch, which I'm using one of them right now, which is like to add eyes to your characters. And yeah, it's going to be cool. And then we're going to crochet a brand new pattern that I'm designing just for this Camp Crochet. That pattern will be available for everybody that has a designer membership or for purchase. But everybody that joins the Camp Crochet will get first access to that and actually be able to crochet it along with me, because it'll be in the live crochet along. Now I tried doing the eye a little bit weird on that one. I don't know if I'm digging that spot though. Let's undo that. Let's undo that and redo it again. Will I send notifications when they happen? You bet your bippy I will. We'll definitely be sending notifications when Camp Crochets happen. You'll get a notification a few weeks before to sign up for it, and then you'll get notification the week of, and then you'll get a notification the day of depending on your membership. If you have a designer membership, you're going to get a lot more notifications because you have access to this. But if you don't have a designer membership, you'll get some notifications, but not a lot, just like in our weekly updates. Kaylin, what is up with you? I'm doing A-okay. I'm doing great. Jules is getting back from San Francisco today, so I'm excited to hang out with her. We're going to one of our friends' shows tonight, so I'm excited about that too. But yeah, things are going well. How are you doing? Okay. Amber said their friend loved the whale pattern. That's so cool. I love the whale pattern too. I was actually making one of those mini whales yesterday. If you haven't, Amber, yet, try to make one of those there's like a Minigurumi itty bitty whale pattern on the site, and you can make a bunch of different kinds of whales, and it's like one of these Minigurumis, so it's really fast to make. Highly recommended. Look at those eyeballs. Tell me that isn't adorable. Look at him. He's like, do you have a shell? Excuse me? I was just wondering. Excuse me? Do you have any shells? Hey, my dad's in the chat. Hey, Dad. Alright, the next thing to talk about with our new system is member updates. So I've kind of talked about this a little bit already, but let's go into detail here. So memberships have been updated with this new system. The first thing is, unfortunately, I did raise the cost of our pattern membership for the first time in the existence of Club Crochet. I have had it the same cost for literally almost, let's see, we created Club Crochet in 2016, so like 8 years, 9 years, long time, 8 years. Wow, almost 9 actually. Wow. Anyhow, the pattern membership has increased. I know, it's a lot. $1 whole. We've gone from $5 to $5.99. So I was like, you know what? I need to update it, but I feel bad. I don't want to charge too much. So we kept it really low. It's still only $5.99 to sign up for a pattern membership. Pattern members get 3 Untangled credits each month. They get discounts in the shop. They can join some camp crochets. And yeah, it's a great way to support this channel. And then you get new credits every single month that you can use to untangle whatever you want on the site. Now, in addition to that, there's now also, I'm going to use this yarn to kind of fill our character here, by the way. In addition to that, there's now a new designer tier membership, and every single person that had a pattern membership prior to this change got upgraded immediately to the designer tier membership. The designer tier membership gives unlimited access to the library, so it gives you access to every single pattern on the library. You don't need to untangle anything. But it also, in addition to that, gives you untangle credits so that you can untangle patterns if you want to. So that way, if you ever cancel your account, you'll still have access to those patterns. So you can still download the PDFs, you can watch the video tutorials forever. It gives you permanent access to all those features if you have a designer tier membership. We're doing a big deal right now for the next 30 days where a designer membership is the same cost as a pattern membership, and it's not just for the first month. It's like you are locked in at that rate. So if this is something you're considering at all, big time, go get a pattern membership or go get a designer membership today, because it gives you that cool access. If you also want, you can get a yes, my dad is in the chat. That was my dad was 4M Metalworks Bobby. He was in the chat. It's very cute. Let's see, what was I talking about? Oh yes, if you want to today, you can get a free Untangle credit just for having an account. You don't need to purchase anything. There's no membership that needed. You just need an account on the website. You can do the free account, and if you go to our website's update about this new Untangle system, again, you can find that by just going to clubcrochet.com and scrolling down to news. And if you scroll down, you find that Untangle update, which goes through everything that I was just talking about today. And scroll all the way down to the bottom of that. There's a button that'll say get your free Untangle credit. So that's this new system that you can literally, as of this morning, or like an hour ago. Jimmy built it. So now you can get a free Untangle credit for just clicking a button. You can only use it once per account, and I'm gonna change it probably after the end of today. So it'll be like your last, just a free account, free credit today. And then I'm gonna probably do that more often in the future too. Hey, look at this. We've sewn closed our hermit crab. We're almost done with it. Now we need to do our shell, which is gonna be interesting because I saw a sneak peek at what you guys were voting on. They call him Papa Loops. That's true. All right, there we go. Let's add our little whiskers here before we start working on our shell. So someone asked, if you purchase a pattern, does it get untangled? Yes. If you purchase any pattern on the website, whether that's in a bundle or a direct purchase, it will untangle that pattern automatically for you. So you don't need to actually get untangled credits on top of purchasing things. So yes, that is another way you can untangle credits, is just by purchasing patterns on the website. Thank you for asking that. I should have mentioned that, made that more clear. How long does it usually take to get a photo approved? Probably about a day. I'm the one manually doing it. It's either me or Cooper that are approving things. So yeah, just give us like, usually one of us checks it by the end of the day, and then I just hit approve, and you probably will get approved. There's the only time you don't get approved is if the picture isn't what you actually crocheted. So if you like posted a picture of like a hermit crab, but you uploaded it for a goblin, I'd be like, no, that's the hermit crab. You can't use it for both. Or if you upload a picture that's not anything crocheted at all. Like someone uploaded a picture of their grandma as a dinosaur. And it was very funny, but it was not approved. Also, that way we can make sure that people aren't putting like bad pictures in the on the website too. So it's a way for us to like kind of maintain, a little bit of security on the site too. Okay, I have one more thing I wanted to tell you about, which is our new season passes, but we'll talk about that in a second. Look at our hermit crab and tell me that's not so stinking cute. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. Let's make them a shell. All right, what did we vote for our shell? You voted for those big old beautiful eyes, and I knew it. I knew it was going to be an old shoe. I was like, maybe they'll vote old shoe. And then I realized, of course they're going to vote old shoe. So we are crocheting an old boot, an old shoe to go on this guy's head. Now, I'm going to need to draw this. We're going to need to draw this out, so that way it'll be easier for me to actually crochet. All right. So an old boot, huh? So we're going to make it go like that'll be the base of the shoe. It'll be like an oval. And then we'll have it come up like this, like that. We'll have it come down like that, and then out. And then we'll have what's it called? The tongue of the shoe. So this part will go like this, and then the tongue of the shoe will be like kind of open, so he can put his little noggin in there. And then we'll just put a bunch of yarn for ties. And then our little hermit crab will be like this under it. Can you see what I'm drawing, by the way? Oh yeah, you can kind of see it. So there's going to be our hermit crab at the bottom there. Right? And it'll be up like that. So it'll be like a little shell. It'll be like a shoe shell. Shoe shell! Shoe shell. Alright. Thank you so much, Ellie. I appreciate that. So let's go ahead and make that. We're going to need brown, definitely, right? Right, team? I think we absolutely, what is a boot if not brown? Maybe we need beige, too, for the, knots of it. Yes, that's exactly what it is, Onyx. That is the point of having the credits, even though you have unlimited access to the website. Hold on, sorry, I'm looking for this. We're gonna need this, just these extra threads. Yeah, that's totally the point of getting those credits, even though you get unlimited access, is that if you want to cancel your membership, you still have those credits to untangle so that you have permanent access to those patterns. So it still gives you you can still get credit for things. Yeah, it's a cool little system. Okay, the last thing I wanted to talk about today is our season passes. See, I made a new system for getting bundles of patterns, so that way, like, I thought, you know, maybe people don't want memberships. And if people don't want to get a membership, I still want them to be able to get patterns on the site. So I created new season passes for all of our past seasons. So every season, every one of our past seasons are now available as a bundle on the website. And if you purchase one of those bundles, it comes with all the patterns from that season. So for example, if you purchase the Under the Sea one, it'll have all those jellyfish and the squids and the octopus and the seahorse. It'll give you all those patterns, automatically untangle them on the website. It'll give you the PDF version immediately downloaded. You'll get access to all the videos. And in addition to that, you'll get 5 untangle credits bonus. So it gives you all that and untangle credits for the website, so that way you can untangle additional patterns in addition to the ones that you get from your season pass. So that's our new like season pass system. I just thought it'd be a good way to give you like options for getting patterns on the website that aren't just using those untangle credits or having a membership. Yeah, I just wanted to give people, basically I just want to give people options. Kaylin wanted a crab. You know what? I actually wanted to see the crab too, but don't worry. We will crochet that. I promise, Kaylin. We will make the crab eventually. Did I see your question? Asks bruh. You sound like my cousin. Yes. Oh, yes, I did, bruh. I did approve those. Both the flamingo and hummingbird last night. You named your hummingbird... Oh, what did you name it? You named it something funny. Here, I'll go through right now and see what people like, if there's any that need approving. Yeah, you named it something funny, and I thought it was a cute name for it. So someone just posted George the Ghost. That's been approved. We got a Brontosaurus by Avery BW. We got a Piggy by Avery. Someone made the link. Oh my gosh, there are a lot of... Whoa! Someone did the cactuses, and there's Alden made cactuses. Burb fam. Someone made so many long burbs. Oh my gosh, this is so cool because I get to like see what people have been making. It just is... Alden made a bunch of... Yeah, okay, so Octopus, is that you, bruh? Wait, bro, are you Joshua? Sorry, I didn't mean to say your name out loud. Hummus, did you make Hummus the hummingbird? If you did, it has already been approved. It was approved last night. Fizzle Sweets, thanks for joining. Well, I appreciate you. If you can, before you go, leave a like. That would be cool. You don't have to, but it would be neat. Will there be a way to check before the challenge ends about your Club Crochet entry? Yeah, there is going to be a way to check that. I think if you just go to the Club Crochet challenge page, it should be there on the page. But I will say that if you submitted it, I promise you it will be approved before the challenge ends. That is on me to do, and I am doing it. So don't you worry. We are approving challenge entries. There hasn't been a lot of challenge entries, though. Is this too big? Is this too small for the boot? I think it needs to be just, like, slightly bigger. I actually should have made it a little longer, maybe. You know, like, chained a little bit more. And that way it was, like, a little bit longer of a boot. Because right now, that's going to be a pretty tiny boot. Let's do it again. I'm going to redo this. Yeah, Hummus is a genius name for hummingbird. I totally agree. All right, we're going to start this again. Hey, by the way, let me go ahead and say what I'm doing. That might be helpful here for anybody that wants to recreate this shoe and then post it as their entry. Because you totally can. Go ahead and enter. And by the end of our Club Crochet Challenge, people will get a chance to vote on your entry to see, and then the winner will win the gift card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So before I did 4, this time I'll do 5, which will make it slightly longer. So I do 6. Or is that too long? Nah, let's do 5. Okay, so I chained 5. I'm going to skip the first chain and single crochet into the next 3 chains. 1, 2, 3. And this is good for past loop too. And then we're going to do 3 single crochets into the last chain here. And it should automatically kind of turn our piece 180 degrees, which will let me work into the back of those chains. So into the back of the chains, I'm going to single crochet 2, working in the same place that I did in the front of the chains. So there's 1 and 2. And then into this last chain, I'm going to do 3 single crochets, which will kind of like work our way around. 1, 2, and see, it should automatically turn ours over. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to skip that first single crochet that we made in the very start of this. So remember, we chained 5, and then we skipped a chain and single crocheted, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to skip that very first single crochet for round 2. And then I'm going to do, for round 2, we're going to do 1, 2 single crochets, and then 3 increases in a row. You found the update on the website. Cool. If there's one a day, a base pattern for the pod person. Oh yes, there's a bunch of community posts. You can post community posts for pod people. I don't have any for like a custom pod person yet, but I'm gonna work on a tutorial for custom pod people soon, so that'll be the way to enter those. All right, see you next time, Fizzle Sweets. Can I make an orange kitty? Oh, I should make an orange kitty. You got a cat today? Oh, Sakshi, congratulations. And then you named him Mufasa, how cute. Okay, we did 3 increases in a row. Now I'm gonna do 1, 2 single crochets in a row. Oh, Jimbo heard us talking about a cat and now he's jealous. Do you wanna meet Jimbo, Sakshi? Does Mufasa wanna meet Jimbo? All right, I'm finishing up this round by doing 3 increases after doing those 2 single crochets. And there we go. And now we're gonna take a Jimbo break. Quick Jimbo break, come here, buddy. Yeah, you, come here. Is this gonna be all off? No, it's good. Come here. Oh, everybody wants to say hi to you. Oh, you sound like you got a booger in the chamber. Jimbo is very boogery. What are you doing? Are you gonna bite me? Or are you just gonna be nice? You're a nice boy. So Jimbo says hi. Say hi, buddy. You wanna say hi? No? You just wanna be weird? Yeah, well thank you very much. You're very nice. Now I gotta get back to work though. And I can't hold you and crochet at the same time. You're trying to bite me, I can feel it. I don't like that. All right, bub. You gonna be good? Are you gonna sneeze everywhere? They're saying hi to you. You're famous. Wow. You're famous. Let's get this yarn off the ground so Jimbo does not start munching on it. Okay. Let's keep making our shoe. All right, for this next round for our shoe, first I'm going to cut this tail end because it's going to get in our way. And now I'm going to slip stitch into the first stitch, just kind of connect everything together. And then I'll chain 1, and then I'm going to work only in the back loops, so the loops furthest away from us, and I'm going to start in the same stitch that I just slip stitched into right here. And I'm just going to do a single crochet all the way around so we can start adding some height, because I think that's big enough for our shoe, right? I think that's good enough for our shoe. Yeah. Hey, bud. I can hear you. I can hear you chewing on something, and I don't know what it is, and it scares me. No, 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 no. That's yarn. The pattern, oh, the pattern, it does? You mean the pattern palette? That is so cool. Let me try it. I want to try that right now. I didn't know that. Here, I'll open the hermit crab in an incognito window so I can mess with it. Psh, it don't work for me. Maybe I have to be logged in. It ain't working for me. That's okay. All right. What was I doing? Single crocheting in the back loops only. That's what I was doing. Maybe we'll do a little bit of needle felting on this just to make it look a little more grimy. That could be kind of fun at the end. What time is it, by the way? Okay, cool. We've got an hour left, and then I've got to stop because Jules will be landing, and I will be picking her up from the airport. Hello, Kristen. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a great day. I know, right? The crabs have been so good so far. I really can't wait to see what other people submit. Because usually the way that it works for these challenges is usually like at the end of the challenge, like the last week, everybody submits a bunch of pictures. So that's what I'm hoping happens. All right, I believe that's our last stitch. Let me count our stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16, so that should be 4 more than 12. Yep, you bet you got it. You bet you got it. Okay, look at that. There's the start of our boot. I think we'll do one more up, and then I'll decrease down on one side. Right? Because if I start decreasing right now, it's going to look like a flat boot. So I think we need to do one more round of single crochets first. So we'll do another round of just single crochets. By the way, that was round 1, 2, 3. We just finished round 3. We're on round 4 if Louie decides to edit this video afterwards. That would be cool. I don't know if I will, but I'll try. It's Talk Like a Pirate's Day. Yar, I didn't even know that. Today's Talk Like a Pirate's Day. Too bad I don't know how to talk like a pirate. Yar, I'll have to figure that out after the stream. I'll start talking like a pirate after the live stream. Well, that's what I'll do. All right, this should be the end of that round. All single crochets, looking shoe-like, I believe. How's our shoe looking? Yeah, that's looking like a shoe. Looking like a shoe. Look at that. You see it? You picking up what I'm putting down? I'm feeling it. It's looking right to me. Amber, you made George the Ghost. Oh, I loved it. It's very cute. What were those like beads around it? They look like I've been playing too much of Hollow Knight Silk Song, so they look like rosary beads. Oh, you are a cat. All right, this next round I'm gonna single crochet 1, 2. We're gonna single crochet 3. And then I'm gonna decrease down. Oh, I totally forgot to mention because he's not in today's live stream. But everybody, it is Cooper's birthday today. Happy birthday, Cooper! I know you're not here, but if you watch this afterwards, happy birthday, Cooper. That is our moderator. Zoe is also our moderator. I don't know when Zoe's birthday is. When's your birthday, Zoe? So 3 single crochets, then 3 invisible decreases in a row. Yeah, when's your birthday, Zoe? But it is Cooper's birthday today. So if he was here, I would say happy birthday, Coop. But he's not here, so I'm not even going to say that. The first one is also pretty tough, but the second one, though, this new game is so difficult. All right, and then I think for the rest of this round, I'm just going to single crochet. So those 3 decreases, and then I'll just single crochet to get to the end of this round. And that should be it. Let's see what we got going on here. All right, that's looking pretty good. You know, and then we'll just decrease down a few more times over here. 1 and a 2 like that. So it'll decrease down there a little bit more. And then we'll just do those single crochets. In fact, actually, I think when I come a little bit further here, I think I'll do, oh, I should count my stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. How can it be 13? Oh, because I decreased 3 times and I had 16. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, yeah. Dina, it's Dina's birthday too. Happy birthday, Dina. I hope you're having a great day. Okay, so we're gonna do, for this next round, I'll do 1. Let's do 2 single crochets. And then sorry, I'm just thinking. 2, 3. Could I do 3 there? That'll leave a pretty tiny opening. That's okay. Okay, so 2 single crochets. Let's try 2 single crochets, 3 decreases again. We'll just make them invisible decreases again to give their, yeah. I'm wondering if I should do sharp decreases instead. Yeah, we'll just do the invisible decreases, see how that looks. 1, 2, and 3. We'll be there like that. Okay. Yeah, I like that. See, that's looking good, especially once I add like shoelaces and stuff to it. And we'll add, of course, we'll add some like stuffing and stuff. Okay. And then we'll just finish this round by doing, we'll just finish by doing single crochets to the end of the round. 3, 4, and 5. So 5, 6, 7, and plus 3. So it should be 10 stitches around, which is about right. Yeah, okay, we're getting pretty close to being an old shoe, right? You're seeing what I'm seeing? Okay, so then I think what we'll do now is I'm just gonna slip stitch to this next one. Yeah, this is gonna be smart. I'm gonna slip stitch here. We're gonna create the back of the shoe next. And then we're gonna turn. And do I wanna chain one? Nah, we don't need a chain. We're gonna turn, we're gonna skip the slip stitch, and then we're gonna single crochet 1, 2, there's 3, and do I do 4 and then a slip stitch? Yeah, let's do it. We're going to do 4 single crochets after we turned, and then we're going to slip stitch 1 into the next. I think that might be too much. And maybe it won't. Okay. Then we'll slip stitch, and then we're going to turn our piece again. We're going to skip our slip stitch, and we're going to single crochet 4 back to the start. 1, 2, let's see how that looks. 3, and 4 should be here. All right, let me see. Okay, so that should be like the back of the boot is what I'm trying to make right here. Yeah, and then we do like a foot, or we do like the tongue over on this side. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm like barely in camera. And then that'll go on the head like that. So that way it's in the back of the foot, and then the I think this is good. I think this is gonna work. Okay, cool. Can I make a page on the site that's like a gallery of all? Yes, you bet your bippy. That is totally the plan, Zoe. We are going to be doing that. I was actually hoping to get that before this update, but I guarantee you that is coming very, very soon. Probably, I'm thinking like next week. It won't be very long. Can we do a duck? We've made ducks. Actually, I have a duck burb somewhere. I just found it yesterday. Where did I put him? Here he is. Wait, where's his head? Ah. Here you go. Here's your duck. He's a burb. This is Monsieur Quack. Monsieur Quack is a French duck. Quack, quack. Me, bonjour, quack, quack. Hey, quick, quick. All right, I'm gonna cut the yarn now. And do I want to slip or do I? Yeah, we'll chain one, just to keep a knot at the end there, and then I'm just gonna hide that chain into our piece before we make our shoe, our thingamabob. What's it called? Tongue, shoe tongue. Just gonna put that right there. There we go. Yeah, Jazzy, I agree with that. It would be cool to get a notification. I think, would email notification work? I think that would work, right? I think that would work, Jazzy. All right, I'm gonna like kind of fold it backwards a little bit, but there's our shoe without the tongue. Now we're just gonna add a tongue to it by, I'm gonna go through the first, we should have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. So we're gonna pull through the first, I'm gonna use only the front loop of this next stitch over right there. And we're gonna we're gonna grab a loop, pull it through, and then create a chain, a little tighter, like that. And I'm going to single crochet across those 4, starting with the same one that I just pulled through, like that. And I'm going to work around our tail end as I do these 4 stitches too. So we got 1, 2, 3, and one more will be right here, I think. So there's 4. A little tighter. I think I'm just going to cut this tail end because we don't need it, and that way it won't be in our way too much. Okay, and then we're going to do, it's already looking pretty good. Let's do a, I'm just going to turn. I'm not going to chain. I'm just going to skip that first single crochet, and then we'll single crochet into the next 3. And let's see how that looks. I'm hoping that kind of rounds it out a little bit more. 1, maybe I just do 2. Yeah, you know, we'll just do 1, 2, and then I'm just gonna do a slip stitch. So skip, turn, skip the first single crochet 2, and then in the last stitch, which is right here, and I can totally do it. Nope, messed that up. It's kind of hard to get into that stitch though, because I frayed it. There we go. And then I'm just going to slip stitch to that first one. Like that. And then we'll just hide this end in, and we'll add shoelaces, and that'll be our boot. Pull that out. Looks pretty good. Okay. All right, Takoyaki, thanks so much. I hope you have a great day, Takoyaki. Thanks for joining. It's great to see you. Falachi is making a teddy bear. That's cute. I like that. It'd be smart. It'd be cool to have like community submissions that you could put on the website that aren't just patterns from the website too. I think eventually we'll do that. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to do here for the crochet part is I'm just going to hide this end into our piece just some of these back loops here. And I'll just come out somewhere on the front of the shoe. That. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And then we'll just cut this yarn. That. Hey, that's a shoe, all right. Okay, now we just need to add shoelaces, and I think we'll have our old shoe done. I think it looks like an old shoe, right? Let's see what it looks like on the head. Hey, come on. That's already pretty good. Once we have shoelaces, I mean, that's it. Okay, well, let's do that. Let's add some shoelaces. It's the tiniest shoe in the world. It's gonna be long enough for shoelaces. Do I have a longer string? Hold on. I just literally earlier today was like, should I throw this away? And I was like, no, you know what? I'm not gonna. Where did I put it? It was like an old piece of extra beige yarn that I had that I don't know where I put. Oh, here it is. Got it. I knew I had it somewhere close. There we go. Hey, if you haven't yet, again, please like this video down below. Helps this get spread out to more people. And let's go ahead and add our shoelaces here. How do we do shoelaces? That's a good question. I don't know. I think the way we do this is we get a long piece of yarn here. We'll thread the end. And then I think I'll do like... I think I'm going to want to be like... Yeah, I think we're going to start over here and exit over here to start us off. So that way it's like on either end. And then I just create like a zigzag, right? So I just go up and over, and up one round, and then all the way over to this one, like that. Does that work? So that way we have like a zag up, and then this one we'll do the other way around. We'll go like that. Actually, I think just one X might even work. Is that crazy? Or do I go over to this one? Yeah, maybe we do 2. Let's do 2X. So up to here, over, and we'll come out to there. Let's see how that looks. Okay. Yeah, that's not bad. And then we just do the other side. We do an X over, come out to that one, and then do X over, come out to that one. Let's try that. So then this one, we go over to that, out of this one, like that, to create an X. And then we just do it again, over to this one, out through that end right there. Yeah, right? I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, and we don't need to tie the shoes because it's like an old boot, right? So we can just like kind of leave these hanging. Well, I'll create knots on the ends of them so they don't come unfrayed, but I think that looks like an old boot to me. Such a cute little boot. Thank you, Zoe. All right, let's go ahead and knot these. I'll leave... I want it long enough where it's like clearly an untied shoe, but not so long where it's like getting in front of our actual work. I think that's probably pretty good. And then we'll do the same on this side. Yes, I... Onyx said, Louis, I didn't know you wore a size 0.02. Yes. Oh, in men's. In men's. That's like a size 4 in women's. It's so good. Alright. I just want to try to make this as long as the other one is what I'm kind of trying to do here. It's pretty good. Ooh, you're struggling to figure out the written instructions for the second claw. You know, that is definitely, you are not alone in that, Marilise. Try the video tutorial real quick and let me know how that works for you. If you need extra help beyond that, I can try to do another hermit crab like real fast and get to that part of the pattern to show you live. All right, I think that's pretty good. Let's stuff the front of the boot a little bit. You know, like we'll stuff up just so that way it's got a little bit of stuffing in it. See ya, Amber. Tell your grandma we all say hi. All right, I think that's pretty good for the front. Let's do just a little bit, tiny bit more. A little bit, tiny bit. And let's see what we got going on here. Hey, that's a boot. That's a boot right to me. All right, and then we just go ahead and we throw it on the top of our little hermit crab, which we name. We need to give our hermit crab a name. I think it needs to be, I like it this way, I think. Or do we have it backwards like this? Now he's cool. Or do we have a frontwards like that? This is battle mode. And then if we do it on the side, now he's a cool hip dude. And if we have it backwards, we got speed mode. Genius. I think we're gonna go sideways like this, with it just like barely covering his eye. We'll pull his claw up and pinch it a little bit so that it looks more like a claw. Lotta said, yes, yeah, the second claw is tough. I'm not gonna lie, the second claw is tough. But the video helps, I'm glad. Kaylin struggled. Well, that's because I'm making like so many complicated little tiny patterns. I think this is looking pretty good. How do we feel about this, guys? We need a name for sure. Any name suggestions in the chat? I think that's looking pretty cute though. I would say success on the boot suggestion. Oh, sit upright. Huh, he doesn't want to sit though. I guess we need to make the boot more forward. Looks so funny. It's like just a shoe. It looks like, you know that in Mario, like he can go in a shoe. Anyhow, it feels like it looks like that. I like it though. Let's do. I think we should do. We still have a little bit of time, so I think we could do a live pattern. What do we think, guys? Let's do one of these other Minigurumis as a live tutorial, and then I'll edit it after the video and put it on the website. I think we got enough time for that. Let's do it. Let's do it. Why not? We got time. All right. We're going to learn how to crochet our seal today. So let's move these guys out of the camera a little bit more. That. We'll keep our Shermit crab. Our shoe bit crab. I feel like we need a name that has like a shoe, like a boot, like a name for, like, what's a type of boot, like a famous boot. I don't know. Okay, but let's crochet our little fella here, and I'm gonna remember this pattern. I'm gonna remember it right off the top of my noggin. I've only crocheted like 3 of these, so bear with me. Here we go. When will we learn the regular crab? I don't know that one as well. So I have it written down somewhere, but I will work on that one as soon as I can. Kaylin. Muckluck. I like that name actually. Muckluck is pretty good. Hold on, let me start collecting these. name our all right. Okay, there we go. If you got any other name suggestions, let me know. All right, I'm gonna try to do this live. I'm gonna do the best I can here. So yeah, here we go. Okay, so to crochet our little tiny seal, we're gonna need our gray yarn. And we're gonna start with a magic loop. Now, if you haven't made a magic loop before, here's a quick tutorial. You need the yarn facing downwards towards the ground like that. Hold it with your middle finger and thumb, pinching it like so, and go around your index finger and middle finger 2 times to create an X on the front and 2 parallel lines on the back. I'll put a link to a longer tutorial for that, by the way, in the pattern up here on the corner, or on our website. You can go to clubcrochet.com/loop. Okay, so once you have your magic loop like this, you want the back of your hand facing you. There's 2 parallel lines, and take your crochet hook. We'll go under the first bar and hook onto the second one. Pull it under the first and loop it around like that to create a little loop on the end of your crochet hook. Now we're going to skip that first bar, hook onto the second one, place it over the crochet hook with your index finger, and then we're going to pull it through the chain through the loop to create a chain. It's easiest to kind of twist and scoop. Okay, so that's how to make the magic loop, which is extremely useful. There's a whole bunch of different ways to do it though. That's just my favorite. All right, we're going to start round 1 for our Minigurumi seal by single crocheting 8 times into the magic loop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, like that. Now before I pull it tight to close it, let's go ahead and grab just a little stitch marker. This should work. Some yarn in a different color, and we're just going to place it right in the center, and then I can pull this tight and it should tighten around that end as well. And then I can just fold this over and it'll help keep track of the ends of the rounds. For round 2, we're going to be working around this tail end for the first few stitches, and oh, I messed up. Let me pull that through there. Also, let me pull up the, I have it written down, so let me pull up the written instructions really fast so I just can remember what I'm doing. And then we'll get back to round 2. And in the finished version of this video, I'm going to edit all this out. Okay. Oops. 1 second. All right, and then let me go ahead and add in these other name suggestions. Love that. And then we got one more. Oh, I like Lacey. That's clever. All right, name suggestions go. Name suggestions are in the chat. We got someone here's during work hours. Okay, so the name suggestions, we got Muckluck, we got Lacey, we got Bates, and we got Ogly. Name our hermit crab in the chat now. And as you do that, I will continue to crochet our mini little seal. Okay. All right, I'm going to pull my stitch marker over to keep track of the ends of our rounds there. And we're going to continue on to round 2. In round 2, we're going to work around this tail end to just keep it locked into place and to hide it on the inside. And round 2 is going to be 1 single crochet into the first stitch. So we're going to go into that first one right here. Kind of wiggle our way in there. The first one's always the hardest. And we're just going to do a single crochet, but we're also going to take this tail end here, place it over our crochet hook as we do that single crochet. So that way it kind of locks it into place. So 1 single crochet in the first stitch. Then we're going to do an increase into the next stitch. So right here into the next one, we're going to do 2 single crochets in the same stitch. There's 1, and then in the same exact stitch right here will be 2. All right, after doing that increase, we're going to do 2 more single crochets. Still working around our tail end as we do 1, and don't worry about that. That's just our little stitch marker poking through. Fix that. There's 1, and then 2 is going to be right here. Like that. Next, we're going to do a bump. Now a bump is basically a bobble stitch, but with just 2 repeats in a row. So we yarn over, and then we go into our next stitch right here. I'm not going to work around the tail end anymore because it's getting in our way. We're going to yarn over, go into our next stitch right here, yarn over again, and pull it through the stitch. You should have 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, and pull through just 2 of those loops. 1 and 2. And then we're going to repeat that whole process one more time. Yarn over, into the same stitch, yarn over and pull it under, going over this stitch, yarn over and pull through 2, just 1 and 2, like that. To finish up a bump, we yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on the hook like that. And there we go, we got a little bump. We want to do 2 of those bumps in a row. So there's 1, we'll do another one right here, yarn over, into the next stitch, pull through, yarn over and pull through 2, 1 and 2. And we'll repeat that process again, yarn over, same stitch, yarn over and pull it through, going over the stitch, yarn over and pull through 2, 1 and 2. There we go. And then we can finish up the bump by yarning over it and pulling through all 3 of those loops. To finish this round up, we're just going to do a single crochet into the next stitch over right here. So just 1 single crochet in the next, like that, and then 1 increase into the stitch after right here. So that means 2 in the same stitch, 1 and 2, like so. And that's going to be the end of our round. Let's pull our stitch markers over and pull our stitch marker up, and now we can continue on to round 3. We'll get back to round 3 in just a second. Let's look at our votes. I'm voting for that one. Oh, wow. Everybody's voting for that one. I think we know the name. Hello. Hi, IDK. Hi, Jim Stydia. Jim, how do I say your name? Jim Stydia? Jim Stydia. I think I'm saying that right. Well, hello. Hi, Onyx. Hey, Amir. All right, let's continue on in our pattern here. For round 3, we're just going to do a single crochet into every stitch around. Before I start that, though, let's go ahead and cut this tail end. We don't really need it at all anymore. We can use it for stuffing later on. But for round 3, we just need to do a single crochet into every stitch all the way around. There should still be 10 stitches around. So if you want to count your stitches, you should end up at 10 at the end of round 3. 3, 4, 5. And when you get to these bumps, look for these 2 loops at the very top there. That's going to be where you want to work your single crochet, just like that. 1 and 2. And just a few more. 1, 2, and then 1 last stitch will be right there. That should be 10 total. And that was the end of round 3. All right. So we say your name like Jim Steeda. Jim Steeda. Hello, Wally. Hey, Carrie, how you doing? You're only a little late. Here's what we made today, Carrie. We made a little hermit crab with a boot for a shell. Isn't that cute? I think they're so cute. All right, continuing on now. Okay, so for round 4, we're going to be making our tail and fin in this round. We have 2 fins on either side of the body and a tail on the back. We'll pull our stitch marker up to get started. But when we work our little tails and fins, it's going to be easiest to work into the back loops of the chains for a cleaner edge. I'm going to show you that when we get there, though. All right, so we're going to start with round 4 by single crocheting 2. So we're going to skip our little stitch marker there, and we're going to do 1 into that first one, and then 2 right there. So just easy start, single crochet 2. Now we're going to make our tail. For the tail, we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to skip our first 2 chains. So we're going to skip these first 2, and we're going to make a half double crochet into the 3rd chain from the hook. Now, like I said a second ago, it's easiest to work into the back loops there to make a cleaner edge. So we're going to yarn over for a half double crochet, skip these 2 chains, and then work into this back bump right there in the back of the chain to make a cleaner edge. Then we'll yarn over, pull it through that back bump, yarn over again, and pull through all the loops on the hook. 1, 2, 3, like that. Now we're going to go into the next back bump right there and do a slip stitch into that stitch right here. Just like that. Pull through, and then pull through the loop on the hook. It's pretty good. See, it's our little half of our little tail right there. Now we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. We want to skip these first 2 chains, and then we'll half double crochet into the back bump of the 3rd chain. 1, 2, 3. There. Just like that. And we're doing half double crochet there. So we pull through. Oopsies, let's try that again. Go into that bump. Pull through. Now you should have 3 loops on the hook. We'll go 1, 2, and 3, like that. To finish this tail up, we just want to slip stitch into the same stitch that we slip stitched into before. So right here, you can kind of see it's open. You can see my finger through it. We're going to go into that stitch, pull through, and pull through like that. There we go. And that's our little tail. Okay. So after making our tail, we want to single crochet 3 times before we get to our first fin. Our last single crochet was right here. You can kind of see it. So this was where our single crochet was before our tail. So our next one's going to be right here. And we're going to do 3 single crochets in a row starting there. So there's 1, 2, and then 3 will be right here. Okay, so you see how our little tail came together. Next, we want to make our first of 2 fins. So for our fin, we're going to yarn over, chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. We'll skip these first 2 chains, and we're going to half double crochet into the back loop of that 3rd chain from the hook. So yarn over, skip the first 2, half double into this stitch right here. Sorry, 1 second. My camera ran out of space, so I need to redo that part. 1 moment. Because I'm a goofball. All right, let's talk to the chat for a second. I'm making a baby seal. I am making a baby seal. That is true. Now we need a pirate hat crab to be Lacey's captain. Ooh, I like that. I like that idea. All right, back to it. All right, we're going to redo that fin. Let's go back to the start of that fin for the video. To make our fin, we're going to start by chaining 3. So 1, 2, and 3. We're going to skip our first 2 chains and then half double crochet into the back bump of that 3rd chain from the hook. So we yarn over, find that first chain that we made right here, 3rd from the hook, right there. And we're going to yarn over, pull it through that chain, then yarn over again and pull through all 3 loops. 1, 2, and 3, like that. All right, and that's going to be how to make a fin, nice and easy. After making our fin, we're going to single crochet 4 times before we make our second fin. So this was the stitch that we just that we made our single crochet in before we made our fins. So our next one's going to be right here, and we're just going to do 4 single crochets across. 1, 2, 3, and 4. There we go. Now we're going to make another fin over here. Same exact way. We're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. Skip the first 2 chains, and we're going to half double crochet in the back bump of that 3rd chain from the hook right there, like that. Yarn over, pull through that back loop, yarn over again, and pull through 1, 2, and 3. And there's our second fin. To finish up this round 4, we're just going to single crochet 1 time into the last stitch right here. 1 and 2. That's going to be the end of round 5. You can kind of see our little seal coming together there. Yeah, I think it's looking pretty good. Hi, Nicole. Nicole's in the chat, my friend. Hello. I see you commented something and then removed it. All right, let's continue on. For round 5, we're going to pull our stitch marker up, and we're going to just single crochet into each stitch around. We just want to work around our tail and our fins. So we're only going to be working our single crochets into the single crochet stitches that we made in our last round. So we're going to start the first one right here, and there should still be just 10 single crochets around. So there's 1 and 2. Those ones are pretty obvious. Now when we get to the tail here, the best way to do this is pull our loop out really far like that, then pull the tail out of the way, and then get your crochet hook into that next stitch right after the tail right here. Then yarn over, pull it through that stitch, and then pull everything tighter so that the loop gets tightened. And that way the tail, see, the tail is now on the outside of our piece. And then we'll yarn over again, pull through 2 to finish that single crochet, and leave that tail on the outside. Look how cute. All right, so there's our next one. Let's just keep single crocheting around. We're gonna do the same thing when we get to this fin. Should be 3 single crochets, and then we're at our fin. This one, I'm pulling my loop out, pulling my fin to the front, going into the next stitch here, yarning over and pulling it through, and then we'll pull through tighter to keep it on the outside, and then finish that single crochet. And then we got our fin on the outside too. All right, let's keep going now. 1, 2, 3, pull our loop out into the next stitch here, yarn over and pull it through, keep that fin on the outside, and then pull tighter to go around the fin and pull through 2. And that is going to be the end of round 5 with all of our single crochets around. And we just have one more round to go before we start adding our face and sewing it closed. So we're actually almost done. I'm going to leave our stitch marker on the outside because we can tell that's the end of our round anyhow. And that way it'll be easier for us to remove at the end of our round as well. Okay, so now we're on to round 6, which is our last round. For round 6, we're going to start by invisible decreasing 2, and then we're going to single crochet 6 more times to get to the end of this round, which will be 8 stitches total. So we're going to start by invisible decreasing 2. If you don't know how to invisible decrease, you can use any kind of decrease you want. I just really like the invisible decrease. We're going to take our crochet hook, go into the front loops only of the next 2 stitches. So this is the first front loop. Here's the second front loop, just like that. And then we yarn over, pull through those 2 front loops, then yarn over again and pull through the 2 loops on the hook like that. That's going to be our invisible decrease. We're going to do 2 of those in a row. So there's 1. Our next one's going to be right here. Front loop and front loop. And then single crochet. 1, 2, pull a little tighter, pull through 2. And then we're going to finish this round up with just single crochets into the last 6 stitches. So here's the next one right there. There's 1. And notice how I'm kind of like, because it's so tiny now, I'm poking downwards into the body and then poking up through the hole. So I see I poke down into the body, make sure I get under both those loops, and then I poke it out the hole. Just makes it a little bit easier to get into the stitches in the right way. Down, up, out, and then do our single crochet. Down, up, single crochet. Last stitch right here. 1 last single crochet. And then all we need to do is cut the yarn. You do not need a very long end. This is just going to be for sewing it closed. And we're just going to pull it all the way through like that. All right, and that's just going to be for sewing it closed. And there we go. We're done with our seal. Oh, wait. We're forgetting a bunch of other things. We need to add our eyes now. We need to add the nose at the top. And, of course, we need to sew it closed. But let's start by pulling our stitch marker out. So I'm just going to pull out from the base right here. And it should just pull right out like that. Makes that easy. Now we're going to add our eyes. Now, the best place that I found to add the eyes, it's a weird stitch, but it's actually my favorite spot to add the eyes. It's going to be right into the center of this stitch, right next to these bumps. So right there, into that stitch and into that stitch. Now when I say in the center, I don't mean this right here between these two stitches. See, like these are both stitches. You can tell they're stitches. See these little V's? These are stitches. I want to go in between that V itself, right there. So I poke my needle right into that. It's just a perfect place to place the eye for this. So I place my needle into that just like that. Sometimes I like to take the back of my needle too, and just go right into there, and then twist it like this. And what it's going to do is going to create more of a gap. See, we kind of like have a little bit more of a space in between that stitch so that we can work an eye in there. We're going to use 6mm eyes in this video. So I'm going to pull 2 of these 6mm eyes out and 2 little locking mechanisms. We're going to take the back of this, place it right where that hole that we made was, right like that, and then I'm just going to wiggle it in. Okay, this can be difficult. If it's giving you even more difficulty, like right now it's kind of giving me a little difficulty. I could probably jam it in there. Take your crochet hook though. You can also use your crochet hook to go in between those stitches like that, and it creates even more of a, hold on, get my crochet hook out of there now. There, see, now it's even more of a gap. And then we just wiggle, wiggle, wiggle until it's in there. All right, so there's our first eye. Now we're going to do the same on this stitch on the other side right here. So right in between these 2 loops, like that. There we go. You see that little hole that we just left? Place right there. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. There we go. The more you wiggle it, the easier it is. All right, so there's our eyes in place. Now we just need to lock them in. This can be a little difficult when it's this small. You just kind of have to work your way in. It might be easier to add your eyes before this part of the round, just because it's like kind of hard to get your fingies in the inside of your piece. So you kind of got to do it with feeling, but you can kind of see it. See that little back of our eye right there? Just going to place this locking mechanism on that back and just lock it in there. So there's one locked in. Let's see if I can do that same thing. So have that eye poking out. Where's the other locking bit? There it is. Gotta get it. There it is. I can feel it. All right, so there's the other spot. I don't know if you can see that on camera or not. There. There we go. Locked in place. And, oops. I just want to make sure that's on the inside. All right, so there's our eyes locked into place. Last thing I want to do is add a nose. Now I found there's 2 spots to add this nose. First off, we're just using some black yarn. That's it. I don't need to make it too complicated. So we're going to thread that onto our needle, and there's 2 places that I found to add the nose. So here are the 2 options here. Now, I kind of like this one a little bit more. That's like right on top of the nose. I don't know why. I just think it's really cute. But you can do it right in the front between those bobble stitches as well. So you kind of have 2 different options there. So let me show you. First, I'll show you this one because it's a little bit easier to see where that is, and then we'll show you the other one. So for the one more on the front of the nose, you want to go right in the center of these stitches in the middle of this bump. Right there, so right there. See? So I go right into there, and then I'll thread out my yarn, pull it on the other end, and put it into right here. And then sometimes I double it up, and then I double knot it on the inside. I kind of like it more on the top of the head more. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go out from the inside, and we're going to come up right at the very top of the bobbles, right there. So see how there's like kind of 2 stitches right there and right there? That's where I want to come out here and go into right there. Okay, so I'm going to start right here. And you can do it twice. You can do it 3 times. The more times you embroider, the more like detailed the nose is going to be. So let's go ahead. We'll just repeat it once. So we'll come out there and we'll come back in. So I think 1 actually does look pretty good, but let's go ahead and do it twice. We'll go into the same stitch here and come out on the bottom. And there's our little nose, which I think is pretty cute. The reason I like it on the top there is because when he's sitting down, it makes it look like he's looking up more, which is, I think, pretty cute. All right, once you've gone through both of those, we'll just take these 2 tail ends here and double knot it on the inside. Nice and easy. Just pull through. And you want to pull this tight enough so that it's kind of locked on the inside. You don't need to pull it so tight that it like kind of pulls the face in. You just need to make sure this is knotted enough so it doesn't come undone. So like that should be good. And I'm just going to cut these tail ends nice and close. And then we'll stuff those little ends back in. It's pretty good. And then now the last things we want to do is we want to stuff it and sew it closed. So I'm just going to use these extra threads. With these Minigurumis, you actually don't need to stuff it too much. I'm going to use my scissors here to help me stuff my piece up. So because you don't really need to stuff them that much, it's a really good way to use your extra tail ends. So I think we could use just maybe one more tail end here. So let's see what we got. This one will work. So these are just tail ends from a previous project. And I just roll it into a little ball, place it in there. If you want to get fancy with it, you can add a little mini magnet into the base here before you sew it closed, and then it can be like attached to anything metal. Or you can add a little keychain at the top. But let's finish this up by sewing closed. All you need to do is sew closed, thread this end on a needle. And we're just going to go into the front loops of all the stitches around. We're going to go in the front, the first front loop here, and then out of the second front loop here like that. We're just going to do that for all the stitches around. There's one, front loop, and out the next front loop. There's 2. There's 3. And the last one's going to be right here, in and out, like that. And then the last thing you want to do is grab the base here and pull it nice and tight to close it up. Go straight back into the center there and come out somewhere on the top of the head. It doesn't really matter where. This is just so we can get it pulled in and cut close. So we're going to pull it tight like this, which will pull the base in a little bit more. And then we could just cut this nice and close like that. And then I like to squish it to get that knot back in the inside. And let's fix these little fins, poke those out a little bit, fix the tail just a little bit, make it more, make it in 2 different parts. And there we go. We have our little Minigurumi seal. How cute. They're so cute, a little baby. All right. There we go, guys. There is our little mini seal. And then we've got our new hermit crab, who we have named Lacey. Of course their name is Lacey. What a perfect name for a hermit crab. Whoever gave that name suggestion, you knocked it out of the park. Lacey is the perfect name suggestion. So we got Lacey, oh, the hermit crab's so cute. Oh, shout out to Cooper. Hello, Cooper. Welcome back to the chat. Yes, the stream did start early today. We already wished you a big happy birthday, but let's do it again. Happy birthday, Coop. Hope you're having a great day. Oh my gosh, I love this. I hope these hermit crabs do well for you as well, Zoe. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Look how cute these little dudes are. I have so many of them now. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys so much for watching today. I hope this was a fun live stream. I know it was a little different than the normal ones, but I think it was pretty fun. We made a cute hermit crab with a little shell there. Don't forget, so a couple of things before we go. The first is get your free Untangled credit right now. Go to the link at the top of the chat. It says, learn more about Club Crochet's Untangled system and get a free credit today. All you need to do is click that, scroll all the way to the bottom of that post, and click a little button there, and you'll get a free Untangled credit that you can use to get any pattern on the website. Again, please enjoy the Untangled system. It took us a long time to build, and I'm really, really proud of it. So I really hope you like it. So if you can, check out our new Untangled system. It's really neat. Please consider becoming a member at clubcrochet.com. Thank you guys so much for all the support. Big time thanks. And we'll be live again next week next Friday with a brand new pattern to the website. I've actually shared it a little bit, but let's give you a little teaser if I can find them. Oh, they're in here. So next week, we're coming out with a new pattern, which Cooper helped us put into a PDF. It's really cool. We are making a sea lion. We're making sea lions, a bigger guy. Look how cute this little... Oh my god, it's so cute. And what's going to be really cool about it is we're going to make an alternative version to make it into a walrus. It's so cool. So we're going to be making these next Friday. Next week's live stream is going to be at our normal time, so 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So basically right now, in 7 days exactly from right now, we'll be live again making our new pattern. All right, guys. Thank you so much again for watching. I hope you had a wonderful day. Happy hooking. Please post your hermit crabs at clubcrochet.com/challenge. Get a membership at clubcrochet.com in general. Pasta la pizza. Happy hooking. And I'll see you next week. Bye. Goodbye. Goodbye. Oh my gosh, stop. You hang up first. Oh my gosh, stop. You're making me blush. Oh, for Onyx. This is for you, Onyx. Yes, there is also an elephant seal version that's coming out with the rest of that pattern. So, all right, bye.